Hello everyone. Today we are going to start reviewing for your assessment on rhombuses or rhombi. So let's first talk about what we know about rhombuses. We know that the angles opposite each other are congruent. Okay. We know that all sides are equal. We know that these are all right angles inside here. We also know that these diagonals bisect each other, okay? So that means that these two pieces must be equal and these two pieces must be equal, okay? So those are just a few things we know. We also have, it's important to know that we do have these little triangles here. Let me just post-it note to kind of show you. If you look, there is a right triangle right there. So we should know that all three of these add to 180. If you only have these two, always know that that's 90. Okay. All right. So let's talk about a few examples filling in a picture. So basically a rhombi is like a tilted square, very similar in a lot of ways. Okay. And we are not doing an assessment on squares. So if we talk about side AB being 20, that would also make side DC 20, make every side 20. Okay, all sides 20. If I say that this angle is 40, okay, that means this is also 40. This is also 40. This is also 40. Okay, so that means you have 80 degrees here, 80 degrees here. So these should add to 180, okay, these two angles. So if this is 80, I need this to be 80, and what would give me 180? 100. So this needs to be 100, which makes each of these 50, okay? So 50, 50. These are right angles, so this should be, these three angles should add to 180. So 50 and 40 is 90, plus 90 is 180. Perfect. Okay, so that should always be happening. Also, if I give you some information about this, now let's talk about these diagonals. So maybe I say AC, this whole diagonal is, let's see, 12. Okay. And then I say side B or side DC is 7. And I say find the perimeter of this entire thing. Okay. So if I want you to, actually, let me change this. Let me say this. This is 7, DE. Okay. DE is 7. So if I say this whole thing is 12, that means in halves, how much is it? Right? So if 12 is the whole diagonal, each half would be 6. Okay. And then you have 7. And so this is obviously 7 too, because this is part of the diagonal. This is the whole thing. With rhombuses, the diagonals are not necessarily equal. Now, what is important is that we figure out what the sides are. Now, we know these are right angles. Okay, so what you're actually going to be using here to find perimeter of this entire shape, perimeter is all the outside pieces added together. We know all those outside pieces are congruent. So in order to find perimeter, which will be on the quiz, you need to use Pythagorean theorem. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So your two legs here that you have labeled are 6 and 7. You need to find your c squared. It looks like the numbers I randomly made up here are probably going to give me a decimal. That's okay. So I'm looking to find this one side. And then I have to multiply it by 4 because there's 4 sides. So this one side of 49 and 36. And 36 gives me 85. And I'm using my calculator because I am not going to be able to get 85 is not a perfect square. So I'm going to get a decimal here. So I'm going to take the square root of 85 and I get C is 9.2. So each side of my rhombus is 9.2. Okay, so now I just need to multiply 9 by 0.2 times 4, and that's my perimeter, 36.8. So if you have a problem where they want you to find perimeter, most likely you're going to need to label your picture in order to find that, in order to find the, what am I trying to say here? You're going to need to label your picture in order to find the missing side so you can use Pythagorean theorem. The only other thing I want to point out is, I just look at one more example here. Remember that if you label this 40, just like we did in this problem, and this 50, remember that we can go ahead and use these in a way to solve. Just always remember that these are 90. And every picture you get, go ahead and label that first, because that'll help you a lot. Let me zoom in a little on this. After you label that those are 90, go ahead and label your angles that should be equal. So if that's 40, this should be 40. Across from them should also be 40s. This should be 50. These should be 50. Make sure you go ahead and label those things. That's really going to help you on number 2. Okay. Please make sure that you reach out to me. I am available on Monday. I am also free for office hours, 11 to 12. So please make sure that you reach out if you need help. My biggest suggestion to you would be to take this quiz during my office hours so that if you have a quick question, you can pop in and ask. All right. Have a great day, guys.